not completely away, but almost away. And so I said to my doctor, I'm 76. I want to live before I die. I want to live full. I want to cry. I want to sob. I want to love. I want to live. And on antidepressants, it's like half of me is dead, walking through life. So she said, well, sounds like we need to change your medications. No, I don't want to be, I'm 76 years old. I want to live. Putting me on a different antidepressant's not going to do it. So anyway, I went off the antidepressants. I weaned myself off. And as I try to experience what's going on in my body and in my mind and stuff, after a couple of weeks of being off, I was watching Steve Wilkos, of all things. And his program is all about exposing child abusers, pedophilia, incest, that sort of thing. And I wound up crying for the first time, like tears coming out of my eyes. And that had not been happening. And that was
so relieving.
Such a wonderful feeling. Yeah, it's not the tears, it's the relief that you feel when you're letting all that go. Within a few weeks later, I was moving this bookcase from over there to over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't be moving bookcases.
Yeah, it's bad for your body.
Yeah, but the energy that I was being given back was like, wow, energy. Another couple of nights go by and I'm having trouble sleeping. And I think to myself, used to be when I was married, you just have sex and then you go right to sleep. Mm-hmm. As soon as that thought hit my head, I had this wave of pleasure. Oh. Sexual pleasure.
Wow.
I have never had that. In my life, I have never had that. It's been one of my struggles. So had I not gotten depressed, had I not insisted on going off the medication, had I not went off it anyway, I wouldn't be in this position where I experience this pleasure that I'm receiving from my illness.
Oh, wow.
So if you keep looking for the positive things for you and for her, because there's positive behind the stroke, I guarantee it, but you won't find it if you don't look for it. And if you're focused on how bad it is and how terrible it is and how
that's
awful,
what you see.
Yeah.
That's going to...
Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Did it help?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
And when
definitely.
she do her art, she's not in pain. That's why I want to bring her more.
She's also expressing her emotions and creativity with the art.
Yeah.
There's some that vibrancy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how you can do it.
With little beads.
I know this one is like Cheryl.
Yeah, the color. I know.
The color, that's her.
I know.
You said that
yeah,
when you said
yeah,
the first time you saw that one.
yeah.
You said that,
That's
Cheryl.
why I picked it to bring this show.
Yeah.
You see that amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's so
Well,
cool.
and it's like when I do the political ones,
Right.
that helps me express my emotion. But if I'm going to do a show, I'm not going to show any of this stuff, not the political ones.
Yeah.
Because I don't want any stress or confrontation.
Yeah.
Right, because some people are really weird with their...
Yeah, and
their thing.
I'm not here for that.
That's why I was going to tell Sandra, religion and politics, we stay off the table for a while when you...
Was Sandra the lady at the...
Yeah, she has
So the first
I said-
interaction we had,
Yeah.
I don't know what I said, but she said something about the Bible and the church would help, or religion. And I said, well, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
religion
don't-
and politics, you just stay out of a conversation sometimes
Yeah.
because everybody has prejudices against
Well,
it.
and when you get toward the end of your life, you get to think for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I want to show you more pieces.
Oh, you don't mind if I take a tour?
Yeah.
oh, heavens no, I live for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's great. She loves to share her work.
Look at that.
Isn't that amazing? Look at this one, the moon. See more. Wow. You see, I'm so impressed that you have this amazing art.
This is not the right gallery for this work.
Yeah.
'Cause, you should be standing about 6 foot back.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm like, right in front. I mean, it's pleasurable. I should, But you know, as a man, I'm like, oh, nice. How do women react to this?
Yeah.
You know,
Nancy
being
love it.
that as a man, I'm like, oh, that's a woman's body.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
this is a man's body.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in the
You know.
beginning, I call myself the beaded lady.
Oh.
This is a beaded lady. That is not.
Uh-huh.
But
Even then.
there are certain things that just don't go on a woman's body as well as they would go on a man's body. So I have to do men's bodies sometimes. Because, you know, like, can you imagine, this was my first man's body. Can you see that on a woman's body? It just wouldn't do the same.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
and then one day, I have a friend who came over, and I had just finished a piece, and I was thinking about finding something other than torsos, because when you're putting these little beads on something that's not a flat surface, they're rolling all over the place. So I was thinking about doing a
Do you
flat
have an
piece.
instrument that you use? Because that is so meticulous.
Yeah, I know.
It's just,
Yeah.
you know, there's got to be, oh gosh,
The fish, the bird.
yeah, the way you,
Well, I'll show you. I'll give you a little preview when we
yeah,
get
but
back.
you're pretty unique.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Well, I created the technique and everything. Nobody else does this.
Yeah, that's why.
But when I met Thomas, one of his first questions was, "Oh my God, where do you sell?"
Right.
I don't.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why.
in pain. I don't want to sell. I
Yeah.
don't want to move. I don't want to pack. I
But
don't,
that's all to
you
help.
know, but I can. Little THC in marijuana,
Yeah.
I can
Oh.
work for 30
Wow.
minutes straight
Wow.
without pain.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
And when I do my work, I go someplace else in my head. So I'm not focused on pain.
Yeah.
But if I have to set up a street fair and pack my van and unpack it,
yeah, so that's why I help her.
that's
Uh,
going to bring me
remember that?
happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, that day when we do together, we had so much fun. Remember at your birthday? And people love it. Imelda and other people, they say, wow, so
He
you.
had my van packed in one day, and he said, just stand there and tell me what to do.
Yeah, I did that. I was like helping her with that. We had fun. And that's how I got Michael to come up here. Michael and Nancy.
Elvis right there.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh.
That's good. I didn't
So
know
then
that.
here's my beaded studio. So let me kind of show you a couple things.
Yeah.
So this is the glue.
Oh, that's great.
Well, this is easy to show. This comes in this roll. It comes in different rolls and different sizes. Like this one's, Thomas said you want to do a frame for
yeah,
the postcard.
yeah.
You can use this.
Wow. You see?
Because it's just about the right
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
I cover the mannequins in these.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Yeah.
the way I do it, I put that on the mannequin, and then I draw on the mannequin first, so I can see through the glue.
Oh,
So when I peel off, I just peel off maybe 4 inches square at a time and do an eyeball,
oh,
because I don't want the glue to dry.
yeah.
So I just use my razor knife to, to cut that much
Oh.
out. And then when I do it, if like, this is my skins here.
Oh,
So I'll take this and I'll, put it and draw it whatever way I want. And then when I'm done, I'll pull the string out.
Oh.
But then after I'm almost finished with the piece, as I work on it, pieces are falling off because, my arm is going on it. So then I have to get my needle and pick them up one at a time. So this is my tool.
wow.
This is amazing. It's amazing. How did you come up with this?
That's part of the tour. In the 90s, when I was still working, I worked in the corporate world as a criminal investigator for white-collar crime.
Wow. That's fascinating.
And I've always done some sort of artwork. I've just never tried to be professional. But I created this technique that I call fabric collage.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
So these are all these little pieces
That's
of
beautiful.
fabric.
Yeah, fabric.
So what I do is I first decide on my design, and then I draw it. But when I draw it, it looks like a paint by number kit. So in the drawing is this little squiggly thing, and this little one, and this, and then I cut them all out and glue them in place. This is the same thing, except it's beads. So I created this technique in the 90s.
Oh.
The difference with this glue is that it's not activated until you heat it. So after I can put all the pieces in place and they'll stay there, but they're not permanent until I iron them in place with the hot iron, which melts the glue. In this one, I don't have to do that because the glue is the adhesive.
Amazing.
And then she do the Barbie for you.
So before I came here, I was the Barbie lady.
Yeah.
And I drive that funny van.
Yeah.
And people were approaching me and telling me, we don't want you coming here. You don't belong in Silverton. And you should never bring your van downtown and park it downtown. You know, we don't want to see shit like that. So these were some of my pieces. And I saved some, but I soon went out of business because Barbie is not popular in Silverton.
Yeah, so she changed it to be beaded lady instead. She used to work with Barbie.
So this is, when I was in my 50s, I went in for a colonoscopy and realized at that time that Barbie was 52, and I wondered if she had had hers.
That's funny.
And look at
Well, see, when the people in Silverton who objected, it wasn't just Barbie, it was my sense of humor
yeah,
that was a bit over the top for them.
yeah.
But I mean, I
But
didn't
you know
sell
what?
this.
Silverton is a little bit more open now, don't you think? Now, with Stu and with everything, was it a little bit more open or no?
Well, I would have to know a little bit more open than it used to be before the year 2000. I wasn't here, so I don't know. A little bit more open than San Francisco, where I lived for 50-something years? No,
No.
not even close.
No.
You know, I didn't, it was one of the first things that, one of my first lessons to learn about living in
A smaller town.
Yeah.
a smaller town, a redder town, etc.
Yeah.
So, but it's been good.
Look
So
at
this
that.
is another, I just kept my favorite pieces when I gave up Barbie. This is God giving Adam a condom. And the condom that I used was so big, if you're thinking about poor Kim. But poor Kim, he's born with no testicles at all. So I had to build him a penis. And I had to build him a pretty big penis so that it would
Fit
theoretically fit in that condom. But in Vallejo, where I had an art gallery, two different women at two different times, they didn't even know each other. Both of them had the same comment after examining this piece for a while. They said, he's not circumcised. Okay, you're right, he's not.
Yes, yes.
Here's evolution of a gay man.
Okay.
So in here, there's like a little twist, you know, in the DNA.
Yes,
So
yes.
But my favorite is this one. This is the bone shot.
Japanese
Yeah.
vodka.
Yes. Oh,
So she did,
what
But
is
now-
this here?
Oh, those are my Barbie lady cards. You can take some.
Look at that.
This is a
a portrait.
self-portrait.
Self-portrait is beautiful. I love the blue background. Not beautiful. She did a self-portrait.
It's just amazing how it's even hard to just draw it
Yeah,
and to beat it.
yeah,
It's like something else.
yeah. Isn't that amazing? You give a picture. Isn't that beautiful? Nice,
Yeah.
right?
It's like to draw it is hard. And
Well,
to-
and it takes on sort of a different personality
Yeah.
in beads. I mean, this nice picture, but it's a little flat.
Yeah,
You know, a little
and sparkle.
no life to it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah, this one is like it's got more personality.
Yeah.
It comes out at you,
Yeah.
and that's what it's doing with all this.
Yeah,
Here
instead
it's
of-
coming out at you.
yeah,
Oh wow, this is a beautiful. You are an artiste.
yeah, amazing.
You know, the number one thing though is that artists are critical of themselves.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's the
I have
thing of their thing that you gotta say, it's okay, it's wonderful.
my sister Lynn is an artist in Tacoma, Washington. I don't have her work there. This is my brother.